Welcome to The Amazing Race. I'm your host, Robert Taylor.
And I'm your co-host, Billy Berlina.
Now, before we get on with the challenges, let's take a look at our contestants.
You may be wondering where our contestants are.
Their first challenge was a foot race in Manchester Library.
They should be arriving very shortly.
Corey Sands, it appears you're last. Sorry, but you're the first to be eliminated.
Looks like I lost. Happens every time.
So Robert, why was it the Manchester Library?
Well, we happen to have a story on the Manchester Library, in fact. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Manchester, a hustle and bustle town with beautiful beaches. And in the heart of Manchester is its library. The Manchester Library just celebrated its 60th year anniversary. Starting out as a chicken coop, it has grown into the community's longest standing landmark. Ever since anyone could remember, the library has been contributing to the community's stability and growth. A lot of the people come into the library regularly to read their favorite types of books.
I got cooking and gardening books so far.
The library hosts many activities that contribute to the community, like plant sales, port meetings, and salmon bakes, but the most popular has been its book sales. At the book sales, there are many types of books to choose from. They are labeled in different areas by certain interests or subjects. Some of the books date back to the 1920s. All of the books are reasonably priced, and the books sold at the book sales are all donated.
Well, the book sale actually is so important for the library because this is how we raise the funds to keep the library operating all the time. The Friends of the Library actually own the building, and we are responsible for the maintenance and operation. We actually have to generate about $20,000 each year just to pay the cost of keeping the building open.
The volunteers of the library have their own organization to keep the library running. It's called the Friends of the Library.
And it's stuffed to the gills. We really need a bigger building, but it's going to take a major effort to do that. It takes the people in the community to be involved.
Well, the Friends of the Library is an all-inclusive group. We encourage whoever's interested in the library and keeping the library an active part of our community and maintaining the grounds to come in. We have a little sign-up sheet that the people can show us what their interests are and give us the contact information, and then we're real eager to contact those people to bring them into our organization to help out.
To join Manchester's Friends of the Library, call 360-871-3921 and stop into the library to pick up your application form.
So now, let's get on with the next challenge. You must find the definition of patriotism.
Go!
Josh, come on.
Wikipedia. Go to Wikipedia. That's always better. Dude, Google sucks. You can't go to anywhere with Google.
Yes, I am.
Wikipedia, dude.
I'm gonna do it.
Wikipedia.
Click on it.
Pancake. Patty Hearst. Let's go click on it. Not the New England Patriots.
Wikipedia.
Patriotism. Do I need to spell it out? No, dude, right there. Come on. Patriotism. Here it is, right there.
Well, it looks like Grant and Eric are last.
Yeah, and everybody's already answered their questions.
But if you can get your answer correct, you will not be eliminated.
Patriotism is not cheating to get into the Super Bowl.
No. That's a good one. That's right.
Planting your flowers by your garden in faith of your country. Yeah.
Look who showed up to the party and they're all a birthday cake.
Tough luck for Team Grant and Eric.
Looks like they're gonna be the ones eliminated.
Well, anyways, take a look at this story. It might give you a hint.
The campaigns for the upcoming presidential election are initiating change in the way that young people view politics. All over the media, there is news of a huge wave of involvement, particularly on the Democratic side. Hearing about so many young people, meaning those under the age of 30, taking an active interest in politics leads you to wonder if this election is changing the level of patriotism. And if the youth are getting more involved, you may wonder how far this new wave of patriotism extends. Has it affected, say, South Kitsap High School? We asked a few students here at South what patriotism means to them.
Patriotism is...
Shoot. Hold on, pause. What is patriotism?
showing your love for your country. I'm not really sure, actually.
They did win.
No, the Patriots
they
won.
Totally
the Patriots won.
Yeah, they whooped Seahawks. That was a little.
No, they didn't. They didn't win the Super Bowl.
Yes,
the Patriots lost to the
Oh,
Giants.
it was the Steelers.
With an unclear definition of patriotism, as well as some confusion about the results of this year's Super Bowl, we were curious to see if an interest in politics presented itself in a list of how these students spent their spare time.
In my spare time, I like to hang out with friends, and I do a lot of sports.
I'm enlisted in the Marine Corps.
I sit a lot. Sitting is a big part of my life.
And sometimes Jenny and I will hang out and make movies.
Sadly, it didn't. However, there is at least one student here at South who takes an interest in politics. Senior Adam Hulse became a delegate in the Democratic caucus back in February, and he has an opinion as to why the youth are getting more involved in this election.
Having grown up with the Iraqi war going on, the country needs change right now. And the only way to get change is to elect change.
And as to whether voting age dictates your involvement,
No, absolutely not. You can be under the age of 18 and still be active.
and because for many the question may be,
What election?
here's something that those apathetic individuals need to take into consideration.
People that are apathetic and think they don't care really need to look. Those are the ones that are usually going to be complaining about how they don't like what's happening. And the only way you can change what's happening is by caring and getting involved.
So, as it turns out, the majority of high schoolers are not yet taking an active role in politics. But here is something to remember. How the government functions does affect you, and it will continue to gain more and more importance as you get older. In light of that,
If you don't like the rules, you don't like the establishment, get involved and change it, and support a party and support something.
Alright, so your next challenge will be
To run 3 laps.
around the whole school.
Go!
Oh, I got an ache. I've lost my shoes. Honestly.
Team Tom and Ryan, you guys are first.
You know, I think I'm so fast because all those years running from all those big bears.
Corey and Josh, you were last. It looks like you're gonna be eliminated.
We did 4!
Don't we get extra credit?
I think that's hard.
Check out the state wrestling story.
This is where it happens. This is where the sacrifices are made. This is where so many wrestlers have pushed themselves to their limits, then shattered that limit. This is where in 1965, that man, Coach Larry McGuire, built this room. And ever since then, it has been a place of pride. Since 1992, we've been undefeated, 150 consecutive dual meet wins, and I've been a part of that. Wrestling. For some, the word brings just images of a sport, but for the South Kitsap Wolves, the word invokes the pride of success, pains of failure, and a sweeping sense of brotherhood. People know we work hard, but they don't understand just what we go through. These are burnouts. 9 minutes of you in the circle with 7 guys surrounding you, each one taking you down, and you have to find that inner strength to just get up again. Even when your body's sore and you can't move again, you have to get up. You have to. People who watch us practice or have just gone to the matches often wonder, how can we do it? How do we push ourselves through so much pain and agony? You know, it's just you out there on the mat. You can't blame a loss on, I don't know, the ball was thrown wrong or another teammate wasn't open or something.
The best part about wrestling is probably getting your hand raised when you win a match, but the work feels really good after you're done anyway. Doing it kind of hurts, but you really feel accomplished after you've completed everything and look back at the things you just done and know that there's not many people who can actually do that.
You know, it's you versus another guy, and when you lose, it's crushing, but when you win, there's just an inflation of pride inside of you. It makes you want to go out again and wrestle for 6 more minutes. It's amazing. It's the only way I can describe it. It becomes not just a battle with your opponents, but a fight with your inner willpower, just to stand up again. But in the end, you raise your head, and you can say, I did it. I survived.
Well, as a person, it's really improved who I am. It's made me work for things more. And I was kind of at a crossroads before I started doing wrestling, and if I hadn't done wrestling, I don't really know what I would have ended up doing. And I probably wouldn't have been very good, but wrestling has made me work to achieve what I want and become who I am as a person and not ever give up for anything. Like, if you've got the will and strength to go through a match and make it through a season of wrestling, you can make it through pretty much anything else.
I got to be a part of that. Even though we work so hard, our main goal is to always have fun. And with 150 consecutive dual league wins, South Kitsap's Wrestling Wolves are the elite force to be reckoned with.
Jeez, Robert, that was some crazy stuff, man.
Crazy? Crazy? You don't know crazy.
Oh, Robert. Back down a little bit, buddy. Take a chill.
Sorry, I get a little excited sometimes.
Now, your next challenge.
Dance with your partner.
We have to dance? I bloody don't dance. Are you mad? I don't.
The dancing challenge is now over.
Emily and Jordan, congratulations. You guys got first.
Tom and Ryan, not your best, but second place will do.
Chris and Kirk, I'm sorry. You guys are in third place.
And Robert, next time, let's try actually dancing.
It's okay, Robert. It's not that bad.
Maybe you can watch this Mardi Gras video, get some tips on dancing.
February 2nd, 2008. Not a day with any big calendar significance. However, for the foreign language clubs, it was one of the biggest nights of the year as they hosted their annual Mardi Gras, Fascine, Carnival dance here at South Kitsap. The concept of Mardi Gras is celebrated in the Hispanic, German, and French worlds, making foreign language clubs a perfect group to host the dance and turn it into a cultural event. The dance itself included professional instructors to teach the students dances from around the world. Instructors would start with teaching the steps.
To the left, you get close. Very good, right there, just like that.
Then they would turn on the music and let students practice what they learned. After that, instructors would give a few suggestions.
And it also helps to talk.
Or sometimes they would dance themselves to give the students a visual example. There was actually a large turnout of students, but most of them came for the wrong reasons.
Well, my girlfriend was coming, so I came too. Peer pressure.
Points, yeah. For cultural points. However, it turned out that most of the students actually enjoyed themselves.
Well, I can't really dance, so I guess trying to learn how was fun.
Yeah, it's real fun.
Yeah, it is a pretty good time. I mean, we're making masks and we're playing around, having a time, taking pictures, dancing, and just a great experience.
And the instructors really did make the night. But this probably is from their passion for dancing and teaching as well.
I mean, if I come here, it's like a musician.
Yes.
If you're playing to nobody or an empty crowd, it's no fun.
Right.
But if you are teaching something that you enjoy, like we do, and then all these young ones enjoy it as much, I mean, what better way to leave a place like that with all that energy?
It is.
Besides the dancing, there were other events taking place as well, such as mask making. And of course, cake and refreshments. Since this is an annual event, keep your eye out for it next year.
We are now down to the final 3.
And your next challenge is to find out what the Scoop and Views is.
You know what to do.
Go.
Ryan, Tom, Jordan, Emily. You guys are still here.
Should be easy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna even get up.
No. We're good.
Yeah. Jordan, Emily, you guys go first. That is incorrect.
It's for the newspaper for here at South. It's definitely a newspaper. Yeah.
Maybe watch a story, get some information.
What's going on in the world around you, where it is and when. The morning paper tells you just about everything, except for how it's made. Here at South Kitsap High School there is a classroom, and in that classroom are students working diligently for a cause. That cause is to produce a school newspaper.
I would like the students to learn about journalism, what it takes, the ethics involved in journalism, when to write a story, when not to write a story, how to write a story in third person, to keep their opinion out of it if it's not an opinion article, and just teamwork. And the most important thing they learn here, hopefully, is deadlines.
It all starts here, where the students write and rewrite articles that they hope will be good enough to be published in the next edition of the paper they've named Scoop and Views. But who's to say what is published and what is discarded? That's where these guys come in. These are the spell checkers, the copyright officers, and the people who get to choose whose opinions and articles are voiced in this month's edition. But they prefer the term editor.
Being an editor for Scoop and Views, the South Kitsap High School newspaper, it's really a privilege, but there are some difficulties. We have the problem of sometimes students' articles aren't newspaper worthy, and so we have to go to them and help them try and correct it or tell them that it's not going to work out, and it's really hard to do that sometimes because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
Their job is to check the spelling of the articles, make sure they are not plagiarized from another article, to decide what fits in the theme of the issue and what just doesn't cut it.
A big responsibility for us as editors is we have to be good at grammar basically because, you know, we don't want to put out articles that don't sound good or there are a lot of grammatical mistakes. And we also have to keep kids in line so that they actually write articles and we could get a newspaper
When
out.
it's all said and done, the finished issue is sent to a printing press where it will be copied 2,000 times and returned with a copy to be delivered to all the teachers and students who would like to read a little piece of State Pride. So the next time you open your morning paper, not only will you be informed of all the things you need to know to start your day, but also what the scoop is on the story written between them.
It is now down to the final two. We have our last challenge, and it's an eating contest, but there's a catch.
You must eat 10 live cockroaches.
Yes, I love cockroaches. Me too.
Crikey, Governor. We are going to lose. Why? Why? I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat. Or cheese. Definitely not bugs.
Well, Chris and Kirk, looks like you guys were mud at fault. But there's one last thing you guys need to do. And that's watch all these people eat all this food.
For an estimated 6 to 7 years, a group at South puts on quite a show for the teachers. This group is the FFA. Annually, they serve up a thank you breakfast to all the staff. Why do they do this, you might ask? Well, the teachers are very helpful to the students, making sure all their schoolwork gets done for those classes that are missed, so that they can participate in FFA activities. The teachers also support them by attending their fairs and help even purchase their livestock.
Well, this is my 3rd year doing the staff breakfast, and it's really just a great thing to do because the teachers do so much for us all year long, and it's our chance to show how much they really mean to us.
The students arrive at 5 in the morning to work as a team and start flipping the sausages, pancakes, and eggs. They went through 20 pounds of sausage, 15 dozen eggs, a whole bag of pancake batter, and large amounts of fruit. Most would think that for their sausages used, they use their own pigs. The answer to this is they don't know. This is because their meat is donated by Farmer George, a local meat processing facility, and may have been originally one of their own animals.
Farmer George donated the sausage this year, and as he has done every year, so very well could be since he buys a lot of our animals, but it's definitely a homegrown piece of pig.
After approximately 90 minutes of cooking, the teachers begin to arrive and are greeted by each FFA member. They have a room set up just for the teachers so that they can eat and socialize. The food was a 2 thumbs up, and they could look forward to it every year.
This food is absolutely fabulous. The FFA students and their teachers do a great job of putting this on. They raise great food and they cook good food.
For more information on the FFA, you can either go to www.ffa.org or www.washingtonffa.org.
Man, that sure was a lot of delicious breakfast.
And now you can get your prize, but you have to go to 7-Eleven, and we'll meet you there.
Hey there, Delilah, what's it like in New York City? I'm 1,000 miles away, but girl, tonight you look so pretty. Listen, close your eyes. Ah! Listen to my voice, it's my disguise.
Okay, we made it. What do we win? What do we win? What do we win? So, you guys made it. You guys win, but we ran out of money shooting this. You know, this whole traveling thing. So you guys get Slurpees. This one's pretty good. Whoa! You just drank it. It's good. That's okay.
So Kurt, what really happened?
Just watch this video and find out.
I'm Kurt Curry. I've been racing for about 5 years now. I race for Brothers Power Sports. They give me free graphics and money for racing. I'm not really looking into pro motocross because there's not a lot of money in it, and only about the top 20 guys are even really making a good living. My only real goals for motocross are to make it to Loretta Lynn's, which is the largest race in the world, and to get the District 27 #1 plate.
This is going to be bad. I was thinking he's totally screwed. It's going to take 2 or 3 months of rehab just to get him back where he's walking again.
Okay, what he did is he's come around the inside of a corner and he went to go past a slower rider.
Well, I kind of saw when he came off the jump, he kind of caught the side of the hill, and I just saw him cartwheel, and then he went into a hole, and I just saw a big cloud of dust, and that's all I saw. And I ran over there to him, and you could see he clearly had a broken femur, and the other one leg was laying off to the right about 90 degrees, so you kind of figured that one was broken too.
Kirk's accident occurred on February 18th, where he was immediately taken to Henry Mayo Newhall Memorial Hospital, where Kirk was prepped for surgery. Kirk suffered from 2 broken legs, both of which was serious enough for rods.
When I really realized he was in trouble is when they wouldn't let me into the recovery room after the surgery. And I finally forced my way in about 3 hours after the surgery, and he was gray and not moving. Oh, they had 3 different theorems. One was axial shear, hypoxia, and cerebral brain embolism. And so there was a computer in his room, and I didn't have nothing to do and all day to do it, so I just started, every time I wasn't trying to help with Kirk, I would research on the computer. And I knew all the symptoms, I knew what he was doing, I knew the erratic heart rate, I knew how he was bucking the ventilation system, I knew his posturing. And on Thursday, it happened on Monday, on Thursday, I kind of matched it up with cerebral fat embolism. He was as close to death as you get.
So Kirk was in a coma for 2 weeks. When he first started coming out, it was a very slow process. After about a week, he was almost back to his normal self. Kirk is currently going through rehab, but rehab for Kirk with 2 broken legs is hard and extremely painful.
Walking was hard too. I couldn't really walk. I thought I could, so I tried and I just fell over. Yeah.
Where'd you fall over at?
I fell over at my house and like ripped out one of the towel holders, and then I fell over in my den and knocked a chair over. I can walk up them just fine. I tend to just like look at the stairs just so I don't trip or anything. But I don't know. Since I don't walk really straight, I like kind of wobble up them.
Everybody came out of this horrible dream okay. I believe that everyone who went into this came out the other side a better person. As you can imagine, the Courier family is closer than ever before. We don't ask for these things to happen, but after it's all said and done, you can look back and see what a great experience it was, even though it was extremely painful to watch. And I can truly say that this experience with my very best friend has changed my outlook on life. Kirk is now walking the halls here in South and living life to the fullest. Kirk will graduate with his class on June 6th, and he plans to attend college next year. But what about riding? Well, he says his plans are to be back on the bike next month, trying to qualify for his ultimate motocross goal. Loretta Lenz.
Well, we're all glad that Kirk's okay and that he helped win the race with Chris.
And this concludes this edition of The Amazing Race. I'm Lily Relina.
And I'm Robert Taylor.
Catch you next time. Every time somebody gets eliminated, we do it. Ready? Oh.